Youngkin, he lives in Great Falls, Virginia with his wife, Suzanne. He's raising his family in Great Falls. Suzanne is the Christian that twisted his arm, put his arm behind his back, and forced him to cry uncle on being a Christian. Says, if you're going to love me, you're going to love the God before you get to me, you son of a bitch. So watch out for Suzanne's brainwashing, the brainwashing by Suzanne of Glenn Youngkin. Is nearly 100%. He previously served on the vestry of the Holy Trinity Church in McLean, Virginia. Glenn Youngkin stands 6 feet tall and 7 inches. Glenn Youngkin was a high school and college basketball star. As of September 2021, he had an estimated net worth of $440 million. He's a multi-millionaire. $440 million. That's why Glenn Youngkin is the presumptive, is the Republican. That's why we get to hear his message. Now, he hates Beloved, the book, Beloved, by Toni Morrison, the award-winning book by Toni Morrison, written in 1987. Now, Margaret Gardner's story is the true historical story that's actually the backdrop or the inspiration for Beloved. Based on a true story, inspired by a true story, is inspired by Margaret Gardner's story. Margaret Gardner may have been the daughter of John Pollard Gaines himself. So that means this fucking Archibald Gaines, he's not just raping, Archibald Gaines is John's younger brother. So that means Archibald Gaines isn't just raping his slaves, he was raping his slave niece. Archibald Gaines raped Margaret Gardner. Archibald Gaines raped Margaret Gardner. And since that's the true historical backdrop for Beloved, then the fictionalized version, Archibald Gaines was raping Margaret Gardner while he was also sleeping with his wife. So that means Archibald Gaines was popping out kids from his wife, and he was popping out kids from his slave niece. Abolitionist Levi Coffin described Margaret Gardner and her arrest as a mulatto, 5 feet tall. Margaret Gardner appeared to be about 21 or 23 years old. Margaret Gardner also had an old scar on the left side of her forehead and cheek, which Margaret Gardner had been caused, she said, had been caused when a white man struck me. Margaret Gardner's 2 sons were about 4 and 6 years old. Her daughter Mary, 2.5. And her baby girl Priscilla was just an infant. So Terry McAuliffe is anti-gun and he's pro-qualified immunity. So Terry McAuliffe says that if a spouse thinks that the other spouse is going to kill them, they're going to take the guns away. Terry McAuliffe said that Glenn Youngkin does not believe in this. Now, Terry McAuliffe is also pro-qualified immunity. So what the fuck, Terry McAuliffe? Is anybody advising Terry McAuliffe's campaign? Now, Terry McAuliffe is against banning Beloved. Margaret Gardner, called Peggy, died 1858. She was a black woman in the pre-Civil War America who killed her own daughter rather than allowing the child to be returned to slavery. Margaret Gardner and her family had escaped enslavement in January 1856 by traveling across the frozen Ohio River to Cincinnati, but they're apprehended by U.S. Marshals acting under the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. Margaret Gardner's defense attorney, John Joliffe, moved to have her tried for murder in Ohio to be able to get a trial in a free state and to challenge the fugitive slave law. Margaret Gardner's story was the inspiration for the novel Beloved, 1987, by Nobel Prize-winning author Toni Morrison, and its subsequent adaptation into a film of the same name starring Oprah Winfrey in 1998, 11 years later. So Terry McAuliffe, he's not battle-tested. He's not battle-tested. He is for a $15 minimum wage. He is for medical and sick leave. He is pro-sick pay, anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment, pro-qualified immunity for cops with guns. So if you already got a job and power and money, then you're just going to keep it, right? So the anti-parents, that's not pro-teachers, anti-banning books. Glenn Youngkin apparently hates the gays and abortioneers and taxes. Glenn Youngkin really, really hates taxes. So So it seems that Terry McAuliffe, right? I would rather Terry McAuliffe be the one that's elected, barely, right? He didn't have much competition in the primary. The turnout rate was abysmal. What, he had 20%? 20% of the Democrats said Terry McAuliffe was the best one. Glenn Youngkin, however, used ranked choice voting. He defeated 6 other challengers. He used a progressive election system. Colorado's election system is nearly perfect, except we don't have ranked choice voting. But Glenn Youngkin using ranked choice voting, which is harder, because you have to have more of a universal appeal, because you have to have far, wide, and deep support amongst the electorate. You can't really be a polarizing figure. You got to be at least somebody's number 1 or 2 or 3. So you're trying to win everybody over. I think the Democratic machine of the Republican Party in Virginia is actually more fair, more honest. And since Glenn Youngkin is battle-tested, I don't know. I think the Republicans are going to take it on November 2nd, which would be a good fucking kick in the dick. I mean, it's Virginia, New Jersey, right-wing fanatical assholes anyways. I like that Saturday Night Live makes fun of New Jersey. That fucking shithole state, huh? Terry McAuliffe isn't battle-tested. Glenn Youngkin, however, is. New Jersey, the early voting is underway, so there's already 500,000 that's voted. So really, turnout has to absolutely collapse for Murphy to lose, says some old man. This would be like the biggest upset since the constitutional, change? The 1947, the old man is just going on. 1947 Constitution. The number's not really going his way to the, Mr. Spaghetti. So Spaghetti is looking to lose against Phil Murphy. Spaghetti is going to lose against the Meatball. The Meatball is going to win. Spaghetti is going to lose. That's what the old man is saying. But he's also saying early voting isn't much of a turnout. 500,000? It's kind of a turnout. Kind of a significant statistical sampling. Why are we listening to some random old man? Well, he was on TV. He was on camera. The news, the local news says. So you got early voting already underway. 1 week in New Jersey. You can vote in the drop box, vote by mail, hand deliver it to the Board of Elections, vote in person. So I guess I would rather the Meatball win than the fucking Spaghetti. But I don't really know much about either one of them. I heard he's a Goldman Sachs Democrat, so yeah, that'd be a nice kick in the dick. Let's see New Jersey go Republican. You motherfuckers, you didn't deliver shit. You didn't do shit. The fuck? You just don't have a fucking psycho-terrorist and that's it? Lead us somewhere, motherfuckers. You're not delivering. For Christ's sake.